Good morning. Today we are correcting CO49. I can create a function table. So remember, the input is what you put into the equation. The output is the answer that you get from the equation. So we have the x and the y. The x is what you're putting in. The y is the answer that you get out. And we're following the rule. Remember, it says you can choose smart inputs. So think through what numbers you want to put in that'll be easy for you to work with. So you might not have chosen the same x's that I used, so your tables might not look exactly like my table, but it's going to follow the same rule. So if we look at this first one, we can see that all the y's are increasing by 1 because I did them in order. If you did them in order, they're increasing by 1. If you would put 10 in, you would get 11, 20 would get 21, 30 would get 31. So you should see a pattern in your y's that you're getting. Here I again put in the 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 2, 4, 6, 8. And here I put in the 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got -5, -2, 1, and 4. They were increasing by 3 each time. Is there anybody that has one for that top row that they want to check with me if they're not sure if they did it correctly? And we can go over your numbers. Okay, let's look at our middle. I again put in the 1, 2, 3, 4. I got -9, -8, -7, and -6. This fraction one was one of those really smart ones. You have to think about the numbers you put in. We don't want decimals or fractions for our answer. It's a lot easier to work with those whole numbers. It's not wrong if you get a fraction as an answer. It's just a lot easier to work with whole numbers. If you put in multiples of that denominator, you're able to get those whole numbers. So a half of 2 is 1, a half of 4 is 2, a half of 6 is 3, a half of 8 is 4. Because these were all multiples of that 2, I could divide them out evenly. But again, if you got a fraction, it doesn't mean it's wrong. What's going on, Bridget? Do you have any questions? Okay, so let's keep our focus up front. Adeline? Mm-hmm. What were all the numbers that you put in? So then for your y's, you would get 10, 20, 30, 40. Yep, that works. All right, for this last one, I put in the 1, 2, 3, 4. I got -4, -9, -14, -19. Some people might want to put negative numbers in for their x, so that way when you multiply it becomes a positive and it's easy to work with. That would have been fine also. So just like Adeline just checked hers, if you want to check if yours works, you can check with me. This is going to be one on the test when we do this objective. Everybody's going to have different answers. We're going to have different looking function tables, but you have to make sure that you're following the rule correctly. If you don't follow it correctly, it's going to be wrong. On the bottom row, because it was a fraction, I did multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, so that way I would have whole numbers for my answer, 1, 2, 3, 4 for those y's. For the next one, because it was, again, a fraction, I did multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16. So I had to multiply that with my numerator and then divide it by that 4. So I got 3, 6, 9, 12. Here I did multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. And then you have to add 2. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, plus 2 is 3. 10 divided by 5 is 2, plus 2 is 4. 15 divided by 5 is 3, plus 2 is 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So you have to make sure that you're doing all of the rule. Adeline. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then 1 times 1/3 would be 1/3. 2 times 1/3 would be 2/3. Then you had 3/3 and 4/3. That 3/3 equals 1. Is that what you got for your answers? Yep. Like I said, you could still have a fraction for your answer. I like to work with whole numbers. It makes it easier for me, but it doesn't mean working with fractions is wrong. Mm-hmm. So this one gets a little more complicated because we're adding that whole number. So we would have 2 and 1/5. This one it would be 2 and 2/5. 2 and 3/5. 2 and 4/5. Is that what you got? What did you get? So if we're looking at this, if I have 1/5 times, let's do the 2. So that becomes 2/5, right? 2/5 plus 2. Because it's a whole number, you just add it to it, 2 and 2/5. Okay, does that make sense? Any other questions? Questions are a great way for us to learn and make sure we're ready for that upcoming test. All right, if you are watching at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.